Hello, Pamela in New Jersey. It is so good to be on with you today. You look fantastic. And I really just wanted to touch base and talk about how crazy has this turnaround been from pre-pandemic to the height of the pandemic to this post-pandemic landscape in terms of both rentals and sales in New Jersey.
Hey guys, good to see you too. Looking sharp as usual. Yeah, it's been crazy, right? I think that's really the operative word. It's just a roller coaster for the consumer, for the agent, for real estate in general. So early pandemic, we saw tons of vacancies. It was late winter, early spring. So you expect that anyway, but pricing did drop initially as things were in shutdown. And there were tons of concessions being offered by the typical managed apartment building. If we're going to talk in New Jersey about the Hudson River, along the Hudson River,
the Gold Coast, as it's referred to.
The Gold Coast, right? So by late summer, midsummer, late summer, early fall, total turnaround in the market. It changed completely. There was a huge influx into our rental market from New York City, people needing more space, realizing instead of the one bedroom, they needed two, or outdoor space, or a garden. And so there was just a huge influx into the market, and we saw vacancies go way down, pricing starting to go up, supply demand issues. So it really was just a roller coaster for people. Now, post-pandemic, inventory is next to nothing. Pricing's at an all-time high, and it can be a challenge all the way around. I know Manhattan, same thing, right?
Well, yeah, I think this is what's so shocking about it. I mean, we've both been doing this a long time. I have never seen it go from historical vacancy rates, meaning 10, 15% in New York, historically low rent, historically high concessions, to the exact opposite in 6 months. Historically low vacancies. I mean, I often have someone I talk to in a big management company. They have 10,000 rental apartments in Manhattan. Right now, out of the 10,000 apartments, they have 4 vacancies. And the rents, are at an all-time high. So it really is, it's phenomenal. You know, one of the challenges both of us have is the press is usually 2 or 3 months behind the curve. So what people are reading before they move here is what was news 2 or 3 months ago. So listen, those are the obstacles, but the reality is people are still moving here. Yeah. So what are your agents doing to overcome those obstacles, and what's different now than how you used to do the process before?
Yeah, great question. Honestly, it's been, an education, and we've kind of looked at it as an opportunity. Any challenge is an opportunity to find a better, different way to do business. So one thing is basically tangible. In other words, looking for different ways to find occupancy options for our clients. Definitely building their network. We have great, experienced, passionate agents. So that's the good news. And they make friends with other people in the industry. They reach out to their past landlords that they've worked with to see if maybe there's a rental opportunity there. Definitely networking with community managers in the managed complexes to find out what their future vacancy is going to be, because they know when some leases are ending. So if we're the first ones there to know that, that's a great way. So that's some tangible ways. Intangible, we've really just been focused heavily on educating and counseling the relocation client that's coming, letting them know exactly what they need, what they can have in place before they even hit the ground, really understanding their needs and criteria, and helping them see that flexibility is the name of the game. If you're looking in, for instance, focused on, there's a great town called Montclair, easy transit to New York City, very diverse population, good school system. It's highly desirable. There's very few rentals there right now. How about we stretch where we're looking? There's great towns right nearby, Cedar Grove, Verona. Same feeling as Montclair, but maybe not on your radar. So we've been trying to educate our consumers so that they're thinking outside the box a little bit. How about you guys in New York?
Well, it's absolutely true. I was thinking about this. There are certain things that have changed about how people are finding apartments. I mean, virtual tours before people arrive here is something that really wasn't a normal part of the process before we got here. And I often jokingly say moving to New York City in particular is a 5-stage emotional process: denial, anger, depression, bargaining, and acceptance.
Good one.
Because, it's true. I mean, they're so excited. They got the job. They're coming to the city, and then they get here. And what I'm finding now is, so we're very used to that emotional curve, right? And what we're really good at, I mean, there's 248 neighborhoods in New York City alone. What the agents are really, really good at is really identifying that emotional connection that, people have an image of who they are by where they live. And, because we have so many different neighborhoods, we can sort of answer those needs and wants in a way that they hadn't anticipated, right? And part of that process now is speeding up that process. So, in the past, the process was someone would come and see 6 or 7 apartments on a Saturday. We'd sort of reevaluate and go see another 6 or 7 a couple of days later. Now they've seen 12. They kind of get, for about this amount of money in this neighborhood, this is about what I'm going to get. This is the compromise I have to make. I'm going to choose apartment A. Well, now you might have 2 or 3 over 3 days to see. And that might be all that you're going to see. So what we really need to do is get them into virtual tours, get them educated before they arrive here, so they can get to that bargaining piece of that emotional curve on day 1, not on day 2 or 3, which was, what we used to do in the past. And, just one quick story. I had a young guy really wanted to live in the East Village. His whole life was he wanted to live in the East Village. And then the East Village became the Lower East Side, and then the Lower East Side became Chinatown, 20 minutes from the train. Walked into a 6th-floor walk-up. The bedroom was 7'9" by 7'9" for $2,700. His budget was $24,000, and he literally was in tears. Well, we ended up getting him a 2-bedroom, 800-square-foot apartment with a brand new kitchen for $2,400 in Hudson Heights. And that neighborhood serves him emotionally because he wanted to be in the kind of the new hip neighborhood. And that's actually the new hip neighborhood now because there's affordable housing. So it's a neighborhood he didn't even hear of before he arrived. But we were able to answer that emotional need and come up with options. And that's really what we're looking at, is flexibility and our knowledge of the neighborhoods and what these people are looking for.
So to sum that up, really trust the professional that you're given as a resource to help you to guide you to the best place, right? And sometimes, I mean, I hate to say this, you may be focused to that area, to that subject. You may be focused on New York, but for pricing and other concerns, maybe you'll look at even outside of just Manhattan, over into New Jersey.
Absolutely.
or Queens or Brooklyn, right? They have to shift.
Absolutely. I mean, Pamela, Jersey City, what is it? A 12-minute pass train to downtown? I mean, so
not even 8.
Right. 8 minutes. Okay. And you know what else? And this is what we're so fortunate about, because within 50 miles of Times Square, I mean, you have such a diversity of housing, neighborhoods, places, and vibes. The excitement of moving to the tri-state, the food, the energy that's sort of back in the air, that's where people get excited. They step out their door. Nobody moves to New York City for the housing. They move to New York City because this is going to be the most exciting, productive, interesting period of your life that you're never going to forget about. And if that means you may end up in Hoboken or Jersey City or somewhere else, then so be it, because you'll be introduced to an area that you hadn't even considered. And that's part of the fun of moving here, the serendipity of what can happen by making that move.
Absolutely. Tons of opportunity. And like you said, the best food, maybe we need to have a throwdown about pizza and bagels. Like, where is it the best? We're pretty good here.
I don't know. John's Pizzeria on Bleecker, I think, would win that prize.
Yeah,
But Anyway, listen, I'm so grateful that we're working together, Pamela, because, I get people in New York that sort of hit the wall and I send them your way. You get people who want to check out New York before they make the commitment to Jersey. We can sort of move them back and forth. We've got Bob out in Connecticut, who we haven't even talked about that in Westchester. So, I mean, my message, and then we'll end with your message to anybody moving to New York is, yes, it's difficult. It's always been difficult. Yes, there are obstacles. There have always been obstacles. But we're at Station Cities. We live in these neighborhoods. We love these neighborhoods. We've been doing this forever. And we're here to help you overcome those obstacles, secure housing, and start your adventure here for the next phase of your life.
Well, I couldn't say it any better. I agree 100%. It's a challenge. It's exciting. We are partners. We're a great resource and partners in that first part of your search, the most important part, finding a place to live. It all revolves around that. So looking forward to helping as many people as possible enjoy the same things we do. Great talking to you.
Absolutely, Pamela. Thank you so much. It was great talking to you as well.